Broken car keys? If you stick around, we're going to show you the 5 worst keys, what they are, and what you can do about it. Hello, it's Steve again from The Car Key Man. Thanks for joining us. We talk a lot on our channel about how bad car keys are, and we think it's a pretty bad deal, to be fair, that you're getting. What we want to do on this video is show you the 5 worst keys that we see in our shop. We'll show you what we can do about it, what to watch out for if you're buying a car, how much we think it's roughly going to cost you, and we hope it's going to help. Okay, so let's kick it off then. Number 1, this is the most common key we fix at our workshop. You probably recognise it if you have a Vauxhall. It flicks out if you're lucky, and there are 3 things that go wrong with them. The first thing is that just here, the mechanism that holds the key blade in, that snaps. We've written a lot about this on our blog. It snaps, the blades fall out, and one day the blades got lost altogether. That's the first problem, little problem that is easy to sort out. Second thing, that these buttons here, they wear and they press in, and eventually you've got nothing to press. Again, those 2 problems are quite simple to sort out. The normal thing that we do and that you can do yourself is to buy a new case, break the key open. We've got a technique that we'll link on our site to show you how to do that. That'll be a video that comes up. Put the electronics into the new case and then either swap the blade or get the blade cut. Got an also locksmith to fix it for you. You'd be looking at between £40 and £50. The third problem is that the chip that's inside, the transponder chip, the thing that makes the car start, that packs up, so it fails completely, and then the car won't start. The only thing you can do then is a new key, and you'd be looking at, from the dealer, about £200, £220. If you go to an independent like ours, or there's independents all throughout the UK, you're paying around £130, £140 for a genuine key. There's some cheaper options available, and we'll put a link in this video to some cheaper options for you. So if you have a Vauxhall key, keep a lookout for those problems, and let's move on to number 2. Okay, number 2 on our list. It's Ford. Now, Ford keys used to be fantastic. Up to 2010, when we did a key for a Ford in our workshop, we'd give it a lifetime warranty. We never had any problems with them. But since they've gone over to this style of flip key, they're absolutely terrible. On this occasion, we're going to talk about the Ford custom keys and the Mondeo and Focus keys. The first problem is that the key blade, for some reason, seems to wear down pretty quick, especially on the Ford Customs. Then it means that the lock won't turn anymore. We see it also on Fiestas. Fiestas are really bad for this. And when the key blade wears quickly, it doesn't move everything like it's supposed to in the lock, so the lock won't turn, and so then you can't use your car. So bad blades that wear down really quickly. That's the first thing. Second thing is flick out keys that don't flick out anymore. This is a brand new key. It all looks really good, but we see loads where this mechanism breaks and they don't flick out anymore, and they're just awful, really awful. Okay, that's the second problem. So those 2 problems on their own, they can be fixed by putting the electronics inside into a new case. The cases are available from our shop, but widely available on the internet. Okay, so that can be fixed with a new case, and they're not much money. But if you start getting into the buttons not working, or particularly on the Ford custom keys, then and Transits, then the problem you've got inside is they put a rechargeable battery inside this key. I mean, that is a really stupid idea, because when the battery goes faulty after between 3 and 5 years, is what we're seeing, it means you can't change it. The only thing you can do is to get a new key. We fixed these keys for quite a while and offered it out as a service. When you replace the rechargeable battery in these keys, you still get lots of problems. Yes, you can have a go at fixing it. We've made a video that's going to pop up showing you how to fix it and with all the equipment you need to fix it. The last problem we get with these Ford keys, where you need to buy a new key, is that the chip inside the key fails because it's been dropped half a dozen times. Then the van won't start. It will say immobiliser active on the dash, and then you're not going anywhere. You get the same problem on the Mondeo and the Focus that use a similar looking key. They've got batteries that you can change, so that's a better thing. So generally not very good Ford. The American version of the Ford Custom and the Transit have a key with a blade that stays out all the time, that looks much better. It would be great if they could introduce that type of key to the vans that we see in the UK, but I can't see them doing that. So anyway, so that's Ford, terrible. Let's move on to number 3. Okay, now number 3, Kia or Hyundai. Just about the same thing really, let's face it. Keys that look like this. This is for a Kia Rio, 3-button or 2-button and then flick out, okay? Okay, so the problems we see with these keys are 2 problems, okay? Firstly, this hinge here that holds the blade, that gets a crack where the pin goes through, then the pin falls out, and then the blade gets lost. Really common. We probably fix 2 or 3 a week here in Lincoln, and that's just us. So I'm sure that all around the country there are hundreds of these keys getting fixed every week. The other problem you get with them is that these buttons are quite thin and they wear through so that you can see the switch underneath. That's not a massive issue, to be fair, but both of those small problems are easy to fix. The dealers would want you to get a new key. They cost about £300 from the dealer. I'm sure you could probably get this recased, so the key broken open, the electronics taken out and put into a new case for around between £40 and £60, I would have thought. Or you can do it yourself, and there's a link to our video that comes up showing you how to do that. You can get yourself your own case. There's a few issues. You'd either have to get the blade cut or swap the blade over, and sometimes that can be a little bit tricky because the different shape of blade. Okay, the great thing about these keys is that they have a separate transponder chip. That means that we never see these keys just stop working as far as the car's starting. So that's really good. Okay, so that's Kia and Hyundai. They break a lot, but they're quite straightforward to fix. So let's move on to number 4. Okay, number 4, Peugeot and Citroën keys. Just like this. If you've ever experienced these sort of keys, you'll know how frustrating they are. There's so many problems wrong with these. I don't know who designed them or made them, because they really have, I don't know what they should be doing, but not designing car keys. Okay, so let's have a look. The blades are wobbly. So this is a brand new key, never coded. The blade is already really wobbly. So that's number 1. It's not long until this wobbles so much that it falls out. The button stops being able to press so it doesn't flick, and then the key falls apart. That's the first thing. Okay, maybe that's why they put a sticker on there, to stop it falling apart. Don't know, could be. But anyway, so that's these keys for a start. Then these pads are so soft that as soon as fingernails get in there, they wear through really quickly. Next, the switches they put underneath for you to press when the rubber presses down on them are so tiny, they're very difficult to fix. Difficult to repair, I would say, if the switches are faulty. Okay, and the last thing that's most annoying is that the transponder chip in here, they are so bad for going wrong, okay? Really common. If your car won't start, if it says something like anti-theft on the dashboard, it's probably the key, or it shows a picture of a key faulty. They're just terrible. I mean, there's nothing to say really. If you need a key fixing, so if it all still works, but you just need a case, probably get them for an auto locksmith will probably charge you £40–50, maybe a bit less. If you do it yourself, you can get a case fairly cheaply. The only problem is with ordering a new case for one of these is there are about 20 different types of case. Getting the correct one is a bit of a nightmare. We've made a video that should come up somewhere, and that will tell you how you can choose the correct case if you're buying one. Okay, every week someone brings a case they've got off the internet into us and it's wrong. So I hope that helps you choosing a correct case. If you need a new key, I mean, they're really, really expensive now from the dealer, $250, something like that. If you get a aftermarket key, there's a good range actually now of aftermarket keys. We're going to do a separate video about that brings the cost down a lot. But really bad. I mean, just so frustrating for so many owners of Citroën and Peugeot. So that's all done. Let's move on to the worst key we see, the one that's going to cause you most problem. It's number 5. Okay, we got there. It's number 5. The worst type of key at the moment that we see, one of these. It's a Volkswagen key, but you can have a Seat badge on it or a Skoda. These keys are so bad in so many ways. Number 1, the blade hinge here cracks and the blade falls out. These keys are breaking after we've heard after a year on some courier vans, transporters and the like. Probably if you've got a Golf or a Polo or something, probably lasting a bit longer, 4, 5, 6 years maybe, but they're just really bad. And the other thing is that the ignitions feel harder to turn, particularly on a transporter and a caddy, and they cause this cracking thing here. Number 2 problem is the chips in here packing up. So the chips break for 2 reasons. The first one is that the key keeps getting dropped, and one day you'll go to your car or your van and it will say no key detected. When it does this, you really are in big, big trouble. But the second reason that these chips break is that when people try and fix this key, they've put a pin in here that keeps the case together. If that's knocked through, so if you knock the pin that way, you will break the transponder chip. If you want to know how to open these keys, we've made a video about that. That'll come up somewhere on this video. Now, the reason that we've chosen this type of key to be the worst key that is out on the road at the moment is on all the others, Vauxhall, Ford, Peugeot and Kia, we can take a key off the shelf and anyone can get you up and running the same day. Okay, not the dealer, forget about the dealer, they're going to take weeks, but generally an independent auto locksmith will get you up and running the same day or the next day. Okay, the problem with anything to do with Volkswagen, Audi, Seat and Skoda is something called pre-coding, and that means that the key has to be specially ordered with a special amount of code on there so that it gets ordered in to suit your car. So if you've only got one of these and the chip inside fails and you haven't got another key, you're in big, big trouble. Now, a replacement key for one of these is anyway about £200 to £250. You're going to have to wait at least 10 days, maybe 2 weeks, maybe more, and it's just loads of hassle. Okay, so independents like us can do you a key like this the same day or the next day. It's a lot of work. We have to take the clocks out of the van, and it's a lot of messing around, and it's expensive. So that's why we've chosen the Volkswagen key or the Seat and Skoda, because it's so much hassle for you, okay? And it's so expensive. So we hope that helps you. If you have one of these, please, please, please get a spare key. Get something that's going to get you out of trouble, because it's so painful when you only have one key and it breaks or the chip fails. Okay, so there we have it. There are top 5 worst keys. Just remember, a lot of them can get fixed. So contact your local person, use Shop Locally, find someone, or do it yourself. There's lots of DIY videos on our site that will let you fix them themselves. If you go to the dealer, you're going to spend a lot of money. If you go to an independent, you'll probably spend less. But if you leave it too late and you're stuck in a lay-by somewhere in the middle of the night, it will cost you a small fortune just because your car key has broken. So we hope all that's helped you. If you have one of these 5 cars, have a look at your car keys, make sure that it's in good condition, and if you can, get a spare. We hope that's helped, and we will see you in our next video.